NHL owners really keep the Lighthouse dog from watching hockey this winter? The answer is increasingly looking like yes. Now, it's certainly the cynical view to assume that there's going to be a lockout, but and obviously that's upsetting some of the canine hockey fans of the world. This week is a big week. The latest news is that the NHL and the owners will meet on Tuesday in New York to resume negotiations after having canceled meetings toward the end of last week. Now this time around, the sides had decided that it was better off and more productive to talk amongst themselves than to each other after last week's Thursday morning session didn't lead very far. So is there any reason to be optimistic? Well, maybe. If you look at it academically, each side has really only exchanged one proposal, and of course for each of them that was their starting proposal, which is naturally their most extreme, most intractable thought that came early in the process. In fact, I think it's a good bet that the NHLPA waited so long to make their proposal because, one, they wanted to issue something that was completely different from what the NHL proposed, but two, they wanted to wait until the time pressure was much greater on the NHL. Certainly NHL was, the ownership side was annoyed that the Players Association had waited so long and requested more info. But that's kind of how the game is played, especially when the NHL has much of the hammer and that they're the ones willing to not play this season, or at least not resume on time. So can we hope for anything this week? Well, the cynical part of me certainly says no. However, realistically speaking, if we're going to see some progress, this would be the week. They have as many as 4 days of negotiations planned, and if anything's going to happen, if they're going to have movement that's in a realistic time window before training camp scheduled to start, this would be the time. However, if each side leaves these meetings saying they still is a meaningful goal, they still don't see anything of importance coming from the other side, they still don't understand our economic view, yada yada yada, the stuff you've heard from Bettman and Fair, then you can indeed probably start making plans for a lockout, and who knows what kind of delay. I'm Dominic Yansky with LighthouseHockey.com, and I apologize that we're talking about this, but this is all North American hockey fans have right now as it's dominated the landscape. Thanks. We'll tune in next time where maybe there might even be a puck or stick involved with conversation.